The salvage station orbited a dead world, its skeletal frame casting long shadows across the asteroid field. Verk wiped grease from his hands, squinting at the massive containment unit that had just been hauled into Bay 7. The Zentari merchants who'd sold it claimed it was broken machinery. The price had been suspiciously low. Another person's trash, Verk muttered, approaching the obsidian-black structure. Symbols he didn't recognize pulsed faintly across its surface, geometric patterns that seemed to shift when he wasn't looking directly at them. His assistant, Akeem, circled the container with her scanner. Energy readings are off the charts. This isn't just machinery, Verk. There's something alive in there. Alive? Verk frowned. The Zentari said it was a power core. They lied. Akeem's dark eyes narrowed. These symbols, they're Valkresh, ancient Valkresh. This is a prison. Verk had heard stories about the Valkresh civilization. Every spacefaring species had. An empire that spanned galaxies, fallen to ruins 10,000 years ago. They'd built wonders and horrors in equal measure, and both were best left undisturbed. We should call the authorities, Akeem said, backing away from the container. But Verk was already examining the locking mechanism. As a human, he'd spent his whole life hearing other species talk about what couldn't be done, what shouldn't be attempted. The galaxy's established powers had ruled for millennia, comfortable in their stagnation. Humanity was new, reckless, curious to a fault. Or, Verk said, we could see what's inside. That's insane. Probably, he grinned. But when has that stopped us? The lock was a puzzle of energy flows and crystalline matrices. Verk worked through the night, Akeem reluctantly helping, translating the fragments of Valkresh text they could decipher. The symbols spoke of a guardian, a weapon of last resort bound in eternal imprisonment for crimes against the old empire. It killed entire fleets, Akeem read, her voice trembling. Burned civilizations. They couldn't destroy it, so they locked it away forever. Forever is a long time, Verk said quietly. His hands paused on the mechanism. Do you know what it's like being trapped? Unable to move, unable to speak, just existing in darkness? Akeem looked at him. She knew about the mining accident that had buried Verk for 3 days when he was young. She'd never heard him speak of it. If something's been imprisoned for 10,000 years, Verk continued, maybe it's paid its debt. Maybe it deserves a choice. Or maybe it'll kill us the moment it's free. Maybe. Verk's fingers moved across the final sequence. But I'm tired of being afraid of everything older and more powerful than us. Humanity didn't get to the stars by playing it safe. The lock disengaged with a sound like breaking glass. The container split open and energy poured out like liquid light. The being that emerged defied simple description. It had the savage grace of a predator, scales that reflected starlight like mirrors and eyes older than human civilization. The dragon, for that was what Verk's mind insisted on calling it, unfurled wings that seemed to contain entire nebulae within their membranes. Akeem stumbled backward. Verk stood his ground, though every instinct screamed at him to run. The guardian regarded them with an intelligence that was distinctly alien. When it spoke, its voice resonated in their minds rather than their ears. You freed me? Yes, Verk said simply. Why, do you not know what I am? What I have done? I know you were a prisoner. I know you've been locked away for longer than my entire species has existed. I figured that was enough. The dragon's laughter was like solar wind, warm and dangerous. The Valkresh enslaved me, bound me in chains of their making, forced me to destroy worlds I had sworn to protect. When I finally broke free and turned my fury upon them, they called it betrayal, called me monster, locked me away not for justice but for defiance. Akeem's scanner was screaming warnings. The Guardian's power signature was climbing, filling the bay with barely contained energy. I could destroy this station, the dragon said. Burn your kind from the cosmos. The galaxy would call it justice for freeing such a threat. Verk shrugged. You could, but you haven't. You are either brave or foolish, human. Both, probably. We're kind of known for it. The Guardian moved closer, its massive form somehow graceful in the zero-gravity environment. In 10,000 years, countless beings have guarded my prison. None ever questioned whether my imprisonment was just. None ever cared whether I suffered. Its eyes fixed on Verk. Why did you? Because someone should have, Verk said. Because power without mercy makes monsters of us all. Because I believe in second chances. The dragon was silent for a long moment. Then it lowered its great head in what might have been a bow, I am Sharketh, guardian of the broken star, last of my kind. I have ended civilizations and watched empires turn to dust. But I have never— It paused, searching for words. I have never been given freely what you have given me today. My freedom. My choice. So what will you choose? Akim asked quietly. The guardian's wings spread wide, starlight dancing across its scales. The galaxy feared what I would do if ever I was freed. They were right to fear. Its gaze swept across the station, across the humans who had freed it from eternal bondage. But they did not account for one variable. What's that? Verk asked. Humanity. Sharketh's mental voice carried something that might have been warmth. You are young, reckless, compassionate beyond reason. You freed me not for power or reward, but because you believed it was right. Such beings are rare, worth protecting. The dragon turned toward the stars beyond the bay doors. I choose to remember this day, Verk of humanity, and I choose to ensure your kind survives long enough to teach the galaxy what mercy means. With that, Sharketh launched into the void, a streak of impossible light vanishing among the stars. Akim let out a breath she didn't know she'd been holding. We just freed the deadliest weapon in galactic history. Verk watched the space where the Guardian had disappeared, a small smile on his face. Yeah, and maybe, just maybe, we made a friend. In the centuries that followed, humanity would need that friendship more than they could ever know. But that was a story for another time.